Hello everyone, and welcome to another Company Heroes 2 replay cast. My name is ATR, and today we're going to be having a 1v1 on Road to Kharkov. Our heroes today are going to be Binary Helix, the submitter of this replay, thank you very much, playing for the Soviets, of the Blue Army, I suppose. And his opponent this time around is going to be bibotot. No, not bibobot, it's bibotot. I am going to call him bibotot though, because I think it's a little bit easier. But bibotot1995 playing for the Germans.
Fresh conscripts have arrived.
So, new patch. I don't think I've casted anything in the new patch. No, I did not. I was setting up a cast, but the hotfix hit, and it rendered the replay unusable. So yeah, I wasn't able to get that out in time. Okay, so yeah, sorry for the small hiatus, guys. I know this isn't a vlog, but I'm pretty sure a lot of you have noticed it. It's, you know, the time of year, it's holidays, I didn't really plan for it, and family comes into town, and, you know, there's not a lot of time to do this, and unfortunately, well, I was not able to get many videos done, if any. I didn't even manage to finish all the games from the Sunday night fights that I was planning to cast from that round. I missed one, but I mean, I didn't get them all. But anyways, so yeah, Road to Kharkov and changes that took place now. One change that took place is the command points. They now are earned twice as fast, but you have a different distribution now of command points, essentially. Well, I won't say they doubled for everything, but like, basically, if something usually cost you 1 before, it usually now costs you 2, and it still takes you the same amount of time to get to it, but some other abilities were adjusted so that you can get them on time a little bit quicker. So, for example, on this Doctrine, the radio intercept actually is, you know, active right from the start. You see Binary Helix going for, what is it called? The armored assault tactics? Getting that. Anyways, let's talk about the game a little bit and see what's going on. So we see an engagement in the center from Binary Helix. He jumps into the house. Houses no longer provide that much of a defensive bonus. It's only 35% now, so your units inside will take quite a beating. Binary Helix needs to be careful with that. We have bibotot in the center with MG42s, Grenadiers, and more Grenadiers. So, yeah. Keep on talking about the changes, but yeah, you can see right here the conscripts in this house is just getting battered because it's, yeah, reduction now is only 35% in everything. Before you were getting a 50%, I believe, damage reduction and 50% accuracy, well, not bonus, but, you know, defensive buff, so you were hit, you weren't getting hit half the time, and the times you were getting hit, you were only taking half damage. So now, it's only 35% the accuracy reduction and 35% the defensive bonus. So it's still good idea, but you can't just simply camp there and be, you know, invincible. So we see Binary Helix getting pushed out of the center from bibotot, and his conscripts are having to run through the enemy, but there's only 2 Grenadier squads and an MG42 that is not deployed, so this conscript squad will make it out alive, but we see bibotot actually taking the center. Build order wise, we have Binary Helix going for 4 conscripts. He doesn't actually have Molotovs, so 4 conscripts into tier 2, and we have bibotot going tier 1 and getting Rens, MG42s, 2 and 2, and he also selected his Doctrine, which is the Assault Support Doctrine, with which he called in the Artillery Field Officer. The only thing is I don't know how much it costs. But yeah, well, anyways, so let's keep on talking about some changes that were made. Like I said, command points, you can now see that the T-34-85s, now they cost 7 points, so they're at a half point between what it was before. If I'm not mistaken, it was 4 points before, which would be the equivalent of 8 now, but they were coming out a little bit too late, you know, for the balance team's perspective. So they reduced it a little bit now to 7. Hits the same time as the vehicle repair. The IS-2 also hits at 9 instead of 4 also, right? I forget what it was, and then this thermovic attack all the way to 12, which is essentially 6 points. So this one actually takes quite a bit, but making it so that it's a very late game ability. What is well, obviously you can see here the overlay how it's been affected. This part right here, you can see my mouse pointer over it. In fact, it's because the there was a change made right here for resources. You can enable to see the other players' resources. Still, the commanders and the units, those are my part, because those are not in the game yet, or I don't know if they ever will be. But yeah, I mean, that's progress. And we also have this little fancy stat bar up here that gives us some information. Now, the information that it gives us is total amount of damage this player's units have dealt to enemy units or structures. So you can see here that bibotot has actually done more damage so far. So Binary Helix is taking a little bit more damage. We also see number of infantry and vehicles this player has killed. bibotot has killed 13, Binary Helix 7, and the last is number of infantry and vehicles this player has lost, which is essentially the same unless you kill your own units. But yeah, I mean, right now it's the same, 13, 13, 7, 7. So bibotot a little bit in the lead as far as attrition damage that he has inflicted. So we now see tier 2 down for bibotot and Panzer Grenadiers coming out. I do apologize to the players if I'm talking too much about the features of the game, but I haven't had a chance to cast anything. And, well, I'll spoil it for right now, even though I suppose you can't see the bar because I always block it. We're in for a long haul here. This is going to be a long game, so there's a lot of game here to talk about. Maxim machine gun for Binary Helix heading into the center. Going to probably set up right there to capture the point. No, actually, he's going for the house. Well, it's a decent move to, you know, have a defensible position there, but he could have just set it up around here, capture the point, and then jumped in, but I suppose he didn't want to run the risk. Conscripts also capturing around. We do see some squads for bibotot behind enemy lines. We have Grenadiers and MG42 to set up on the other side. And Binary Helix is starting to set up his defensive position. Oh, and another change right there, like I suppose that we can see. You can see now, I mean, even though I don't, you know, I put the information here, you can potentially see what Doctrine the other player chose without having to switch to it. It has the icon right there of the commander. You can see Armored Assault Tactics and Assault Support Doctrine, which is nice. It at least tells you that. And you can see there the Artillery Field Officer now only costs 1 point. The cargo truck, the Opel Blitz, is 3, so it actually comes out a little bit later now. And Strafing Run 6, Tiger Tank 9, and Fragmentation Bomb 10. So it's a nice, nice thing to see. I guess I'll try and see if I can get a not rundown. What I'm trying to say, like a list to see the exact changes to notice how much the command points change. Some, you know, you remember off the bat, but for example, I mean, Radio Intercept was not a 0-point ability before. It's now a 0-point ability, which is nice. And it makes sense because you want to get it early on because of the intel that it provides you. But yeah, I'll see if I can get a list of the exact changes on that. Those were not included in the patch. It was just to mention the changes were made. So, conscripts over here do get a nice flank on this MG42, Binary Helix, but it doesn't look like he still has Molotov. No, he got himself anti-tank grenades, considering that there's no vehicles on the field, so might have been a misclick, or he was just a little bit too worried about that. But yeah, this MG42 could have gotten cleared out already with a Molotov placed on it, but it is going to get cleared out, and he will be able to pick it up, so a little bit of a victory there for Binary Helix. Conscript squad over here at 4 men did take a very big beating there, but well, we'll make it out alive. Maxim machine gun did get cleared out. I'm not sure if it was inside the house. Yeah, it was inside the house. It got left there a little bit too much. Remember, after the patch, your units in the house are not going to last as long as they used to. I mean, it's still a nice idea to put them in there, but, you know, don't expect to be able to leave them there the whole game. Conscripts backing off after capturing the victory point. Artillery Field Officer, or Artillery Support Officer? What is it called? Artillery Field Officer. Essentially, it's a Grand Squad, so I mean, it's pretty much the same. Not exactly, but you know, similar. It's 3 Grands and an outputs a very similar amount of damage. So mortar here getting pushed off of the field by Panzer Grenadiers. Panzer Grenadiers pushing into the center, or past the center actually, to this strategic point. And we have MG42's capturing. So right now we have Binary Helix getting pushed back. He is getting himself nothing actually. I thought he was going to be getting himself a additional tech, but doesn't look like he is inclined to do so right now. stolen MG42 down to one man, forced off the field by Grenadiers and their artillery field officer. Artillery field officer, remember, that does provide a boost. What are the stats of it? I don't know, but it does provide boosts to a nearby unit, so it's a nice unit to have around. Makes your squads a little bit tougher. New Maxim machine gun on the field for Binary Helix, and he is igniting this house with flamethrower.
Machine gun ready.
Maxim machine gun only has one kill so far. Conscripts and Grants duking it out in the center, but these conscripts are actually surrounded. LMG opening up on the conscripts as they run, and there they go. They are going to make it out alive. There's 3 men. One of them decides to stop for some odd reason. Also, another thing we might notice from the changes, even though I did make the video speaking about the changes, like I said, first the replay, we might not look at it, see it too much in this game, simply because these players are, you know, around my skill level. But supposedly the input lag was reduced in the patch, so we might see quicker reactions from units and a bit of easier dodging as far as nades goes and things like that. So we'll see if that is actually a fact. So, anyways, artillery being used on the AT gun down south, but it's just simply getting slaughtered by the Grants. There's no support for it at all on this side of the map. We have a Maxim machine gun running to that side, but the AT gun does get decrewed. The last man actually runs, and it's interesting to see that that your units actually shoot at the retreating, or, you know, squads that are running away, the men from that squad. So a little bit weird there. Maxim machine gun does sit up right there at the entrance of the road. Should be able to catch both squads if it can see them, but unfortunately he does not have line of sight on that. But there goes, right out the edge. Conscripts moving over to the left-hand side as well to support another AT gun on the field. So Binary Helix very preemptive, getting himself a lot of anti-tank and anti-vehicle measures. He has anti-tank nades already, but he hasn't actually seen anything on the field. Now, I mean, as a tip, I would suggest, you know, unless you're reading your opponent perfectly, then you know that he's getting, you know, a vehicle right now. Wait until you see it, especially with 18-8s. The 18-8s don't take that long, and most of the times it's not going to make much of a difference if you already have it by that point, so just save it. You can click it as soon as you see a vehicle, and it won't take that long to upgrade. Mortar getting pushed away, so a lot of support weapons on the field for Binary Helix. He has 2 MG42s, a mortar, and an AT gun. There's also an AT gun decrewed down south, so you could use that. This is a Maxim machine gun. This is the MG42 that got stolen, because the other Maxim machine gun did get dropped over here. So, but we now have Bibobot pretty much pushing and encroaching on Binary Helix's territory, and a Panzer IV is about to pop. Probably gonna see it down this road. And Panzer IV, and there he is. A little bit of a delay there on the. I guess it's fine. Oops, sorry. Anyways. So Panzer Grenadiers running over to the right-hand side. They do get a flank on this Maxim machine gun. Bundle A landing on the Maxim machine gun itself clears out pretty much the entire squad, down to 2 men, but it does manage to hold the line and force the Panzer Grenadiers off. Pioneers coming in for the flank on the MG42 with their flamethrower. The AT gun is shooting straight at the Pios. Did manage to nail one of them as they approached, but the flamethrower is now going off. But the Pios decide to retreat once they start getting into the engagement. Panzer Grenadiers getting pushed away over here on the southern side, but with a Panzer IV now on the field. AT gun does go off on the Panzer IV, and the AT gun does get recruit. Shot goes off at something. I don't know exactly what it was shooting at. Shot the car there, and the Panzer IV pushes forward. The AT gun moves in to set up for a different angle, but the Panzer IV will set up, will back off and get out of range. MG42 getting a suppression off on the Grenadiers on the left-hand side. And I'm assuming that Binary Helix is actually going to be using the Collins, considering that he has not built any additional tech. And the Doctrine that he went for, he's going to be relying on his doctrinal columns to be able to get that. He is quite quite a ways away from the T-3485 column, however, so he does need to hold the line. He does have AT guns and a lot of conscripts, so he should be fine. However, he's getting, well, he's getting pretty much cornered into his little side of the base. Right now, the only income he has is from this point right here. Conscripts need to capture this point over on this center to be able to connect the fuel on the left-hand side. They back off a little bit just to stay in range of the point. The MG42 does get a suppression off on the Grenadiers. Grenadiers on the left-hand side throw away rifle aid at the MG42, nailing the gunner, but the MG42 stays alive, and the conscripts do manage to capture the point, increasing the fuel income for binary Helix, and he now should be in an okay spot. More conscripts flooding into the left-hand side of the field. Now we have 3 conscripts and combat engineers just moving around for camping. Grenadier squads and the Panzer Grenadiers doing a lot of damage to these conscripts. Down to 2 men on this conscript squad. Rifle lane, no bundle lane landing where all the squads were. Conscripts at veterans 2 managing a retreat, and the other 2 conscript squads back off once they severe damage down to 3 men. MG42 still set up, opening up on all the approaching squads. Nice artillery barrage there from the AT gun, nails the Panzer Grenadiers, killing 2 of them instantly. Second one, or third one, and for that matter, goes down to the MG42, forcing a full retreat of the German forces. Second Panzer IV now on the field for bibotot, so he is in a very good spot. The AT guns are going to be able to pull him off for some time. However, they are spread out, so they are very easily flankable, especially with 2 Panzer IVs. We shall see if bibotot goes for it. The Panzer IV now fully repaired, gets its engine back in full order, and starts backing off. Nice shot there at the combat engineers, nailing one of them, and they are going to get themselves killed if they don't retreat right now. Down to 2 men. We do see conscripts and the MG42 and AT gun pushing up on the left-hand side. Combat engineers down to 1 man on the retreat. They will make it out alive. The flamethrower goes off, but does not manage to do much damage. And on the right-hand side, we have a small engagement. Conscript squad at veteran C2, forced away by the second Panzer IV. This Panzer IV does have itself the gunner on top, so it manages to do quite a bit of damage. Panzer IV on the left-hand side takes a beating to the AT gun, down to a sliver of health at about 5, but it manages to crawl away and stay alive. Did take some engine damage to an AT nade, probably. And the conscripts continue to get beaten on by the flamethrowers, down to 2 men. Again, veteran C2, forced to retreat. So all conscript squads now currently have veteran C2. It's a very nice veterancy there for binary Helix. bibotot does have veterancy on his grens, but the Panzer Grenadiers are falling a little bit behind. They haven't been on the field as long as they have. And no MG42 is left on the field for bibotot. So binary Helix currently in a very nice position where he could actually push out and start capturing territory. Conscripts decapping the victory point. Victory points now down to 212 for binary Felix. While bibotot sits at 465. Conscript squad, however, does get executed by an approaching blob of infantry. We have 2 Panzer Grenadiers and an artillery field officer. We see a barrage here of smoke laying or landing right in front of the approaching squads. This is probably from the artillery field officer of bibotot, and manages or allows him to push with his squads right in front of the MG42, breaking the line of sight and getting on top of that gun, forcing a retreat. And the conscripts just approach, trying to, slow them down, but not a lot that they can do. So binary Helix concedes the left-hand side of the map and has not managed to actually push on the right-hand side. So he is quite in a little bit of a bad spot there. So the Maxim machine gun here is just sitting in the house, defending the victory point. Panzer Grenadiers do set up there to try to capture the point. They will manage to get the decap, but will get themselves suppressed. And, well, pinned down, that is. Once they get pinned down, they are going to have to retreat or suffer consequences. Panzer IV does move up into the house and start shooting at the Maxim machine gun when we have infantry poking into the center of the base. MG42, or stolen MG42 for that matter, does manage to open up on the Panzer Grenadiers on the left-hand side, or the center, more likely, getting a suppression. Conscript trying to capture points just to control territory. And here is the other MG42 that got, well, decrewed for bibotot, so this is available for binary Helix to pick up if you wanted to. Conscript squad moves out of the way, and the Maxim machine gun does turn its gun onto the other side, getting the Panzer Grenadiers just as well suppressed. The artillery field officer does stay on the field, getting himself heavy cover, but now a full rout for the German forces, and binary Helix manages to push off the attack in front. Panzer IV now finally getting repairs over on the left-hand side, still at about 30% health. Gonna take him a while, but with 2 Pioneers repairing, it's actually gonna be quite fast, so less than a minute it'll be back on the field. IS-2 now on the field for Binary Helix, so he just has to go for the heavy tank, calling in the heavy guns, and that will give him quite a bit of an edge against the Panzer IVs. Panzer IV actually gets abandoned. This gives Binary Helix an opportunity to capture himself a Panzer IV and send it over to his side of the map. He needs to cap it, there he goes. Conscripts are running as fast as they can. You could even Ura if you wanted right there. Ura hit and go straight for the tank. Tank is going to get recaptured and just send it back to your base and get it repaired. There it goes. It's heading back, so this is a nice victory there from Binary Helix. Might give him the edge that he needs to pull back into the game because he's currently losing as far as territory. And another squad got killed, another conscript squad. Not exactly sure where. It looks like right here. Ooh, that was nasty. Probably to a bundle lane. And the mortar is also getting harassed, and not a bundle lane, a rifle lane. MG42 opening up on the Grenadiers. These Grenadiers are getting shot at from the side, but they have managed to stave off the suppression. Oh, very nice shot there by the IS-2. Annihilates the entire squad. And, well, at least Binary Helix gets himself a little bit of revenge there. Mortar did get decrewed, however. There's still this MG42 lying there in the world, so Binary Helix could benefit from picking those things up and starting to bolster his forces. He's currently matched a little bit, you can see there from the forces. 2 Panzer Grenadiers against 2 conscripts, MG42s, and, you know, all that. So, Grenadiers over here on the southern side, gonna take a shot from the IS-2. IS-2 nails one of them, but it does get Fausted in return. Doing a little bit of damage to itself, but more damage to the engine, which is a problem. And Binary Helix is just sending it on its own, unsupported, which is not ideal. There is a pack on the field. It's currently heading into the center, so it's going to take a while. MG42 gets picked up and runs away from a bundle nade from these Panzer Grenadiers. Did take quite a beating, and the conscripts are now right in the center, getting that victory point, stopping that bleed, and turning it around. So Binary Helix might just yet be able to get into this. With the addition of that IS-2, he has actually tipped the scale and has now dealt more damage to bibotot. But unit kill-wise, he is still in the losing end of it. So the Panzer IV over here on the left-hand side did get fully repaired, take some shot at the conscripts, forces them to back away a little bit. We have Panzer Grenadiers running into those conscripts, the IS-2 pushing forward, now finally repaired, fully repaired I should say. And the conscripts over there, it looks like it repaired itself, probably with the vehicle self-repair. Very nice. Bundle A landing in the house, that conscript squad is done for. No, actually makes it out alive with 1 man. Can he get it out of there? Oh, the Panzer Grenadiers are shooting at it. They suffer the consequences and take a nasty shot from the IS-2, killing 2 of the Panzer Grenadiers and forcing the retreat, and that conscript squad barely makes it out alive. Very lucky to be alive there. Panzer IV is still on the field, is now fully repaired and is defending the left-hand, or I mean right-hand side for Binary Helix, so very nice for him. That Panzer IV will come very handy. Interesting thing to note is that, let's see here, the passive ability is that vehicle crews gain an ability to repair battlefield damage on the vehicle once they leave combat. However, recruit German tanks don't get the ability, which is interesting. I mean, it is a passive skill which is supposed to give to all your, tanks, but anyways, we see the, what is it? The fragmentation bomb landing right on top of the AT gun, clears it out completely, does a lot of damage to the gun, but the Panzer IV manages to dodge it, just gets out of the way, and it's fine. There's a second Panzer IV. No, that's actually a Tiger on the field now for bibotot, so this Panzer IV is in a little bit of trouble. It does head into the center, going to run straight into those Pios. The Pios are forced away. There is a second Pio squad in the center, and the IS-2 is currently duking it out with the Panzer IV. The Panzer IV is backing off, takes another nasty shot from the IS-2, and is going to get itself out of the way. No, it gets stuck there on the hedge, and manages to mask itself behind that hedgerow. The IS-2 continues to pursue, but there is a Panzer IV, the Tiger on the field. The Panzer IV engages the Tiger, takes nasty shots to the side rear armor, down to a sliver of health. The Tiger is continuing to pursue, only taking about 5% health to the Panzer IV. The Panzer IV takes a nasty shot to the rear armor, getting out of control and crashing over here on the victory point. Panzer IV over on the left-hand side did manage to make it out alive, down to about 25% health. AT gun or PAC gun, however, did not manage to keep itself alive. Turns around to try to phase the IS-2, but either it got out of its arc of fire or it bounced the shot, but the PAC gun ended up getting completely destroyed. Conscripts do run into the Tiger, so the IS-2 is able to, you know, keep an eye on it. AT gun moves up and sets up to be able to shoot at the Tiger. Very nice shot there on the front armor of the Tiger. Penetrates it and does a lot of damage. Second shot moves through and does not manage to get a penetration, and the conscripts end up having to retreat. Left-hand side, Grenadiers pushing forward. They're going to be able to get a Faust off on the IS-2. This might be what the Tiger needs to be able to get buff, but no, it actually doesn't penetrate, only does a little bit of damage, and the Grenadiers are forced to retreat. IS-2 now focuses on the Panzer Grenadiers that approach, taking a nice shot, killing one of them instantly, and the AT gun is now backing off. The IS-2 is there for support, and MG42 also on the side of the map for support, so very nice there for Binary Helix, allowing him to keep his squad supported at this stage of the game. Mortar could afford to move up a little bit further up, but it is currently just sitting there. A barrage ability utilized into the center, since you know it's getting decapped, you know, could help out, but those are just micro things that you're usually not aware of. And unfortunately right now, it was a common practice in Company Heroes 1, where you would pretty much be using the barrage ability on cooldown because it was better than the standard shots. And in Company Heroes 2, most people just actually leave their mortar there for to shoot. They don't necessarily use the mortar barrage unless they know that there's like a house that is currently, you know, getting whatever. Oh no, the IS-2 was using the secure mode, gets caught from the Tiger for a little bit on the side, takes a shot at the Tiger, nailing it, does a lot of damage, down to about 50% health. Conscript push forward, gonna get an 18-8 off on the Tiger, does not manage to get a penetration on the armor. True shot gets effectuated on the IS-2, the Conscript ends up having to retreat. The Panzer Faust did not get a crit on the IS-2, so the IS-2 is able to back off. AT gun there for support, managed to get a lot of damage on that Tiger. The Tiger now down to about 5% health. Will the IS-2 continue to pursue? No, it backs off. It's a little bit conservative. Pushes forward, gonna get a shot off on those Grens. There we go, but doesn't actually nail any of them. And the Grens set up to... No, it looks like they were trying to set up for a Faust, but no. AT gun and IS-2. Nice shot there by the IS-2. Nails one of those Grens, bringing down the squad to about 25% health. There's only 3 of them left. So that IS-2 very aggressive.
The enemy is encroaching on our territory.
And another nice shot there from the IS-2 forces that Grenadier squad to retreat. IS-2 backs off to the victory point and the defense of both MG42 and the AT gun. So very nice position here for Binary Helix. And on the right-hand side, we have conscripts engaging against Pios, more conscripts, and an AT gun over here on this right-hand side just for defense. So the mortar there is just sitting in the center. So yeah, I mean, I would have liked to seen it move somewhere else, but it's fine. I mean, it can support, but like I said, it doesn't really do a lot. Nasty shot there from the AT gun. I think it actually nailed 2 of its own units. No, it wasn't. So it looks like it was the Panzer Grenadiers. Panzer Grenadiers doing a lot of damage now. Veteran C2. Veteran C2 gives them defensive bonuses, which means they can just simply rush at them and do a lot of damage. So the AT gun backing off is no longer supported. There is a Maxim machine gun in this house currently setting up and opening up on the Panzer Grenadiers. Panzer Grenadiers will throw a bundle nade. There goes the bundle nade right on the top floor, nailing one of those men, breaking a hole in the wall. And the Maxim machine gun is actually getting slaughtered in the house, getting flanked from the left-hand side from a Panzer Grenadier squad, and now it gets executed. Gun gets cleared out inside the house, and that Maxim machine gun is now lost to the battlefield, and it should be, yeah, it's right there. So the Panzer Grenadiers continue to push forward. They decrew the AT gun on the right-hand side, and Binary Helix taking a lot of losses. Left-hand side, the IS-2 finally gets fully repaired, and the Tiger is currently getting repaired as well. Only one Pyro repairing it, so it's going to take a while, but it's currently at about 60% health. But without the tanks on the field, and because of the threat of the IS-2, bibotot is not willing to send out his tanks, because he can have them killed very easily. Panzer IV, however, does decide to go a little bit bold, go into the center, forces away a combat engineer squad that was capturing the point right outside of their base, and the conscripts over here do capture the victory point. No support there. There is a decrewed mortar here. There's also the decrewed MG42 here that he could pick up and put it in the house if he wants to just keep putting a unit in the house. So things to keep in mind. And the conscripts over here in the center are engaging against 2 Grunt squads. The Panzer IV still there for support. Going to be able to take some shots at the conscripts in the house, so that's not the best idea for the conscripts. Remember, not as much defensive bonuses anymore. Conscripts over here on this track, they're only able to shoot. Well, yeah, they have, I suppose, a decent angle. And the Tiger is now fully repaired and heading out of the field. No, well, it's not fully repaired, but it notices that this is its chance. It sees that the IS-2 is going for the Panzer IV. Faust is also going off on the IS-2, and there it goes, gets a crit on the engine, but the IS-2 clears out the Grenadier spot, so a small victory there for Binary Helix. The Panzer IV does hit Blitzkrieg, going to get itself 18-aided by the conscripts, but the Tiger is now behind the IS-2, which will allow it to do a lot of damage to it, getting shots on the side and rear armor right now. The IS-2 might be able to clear out the Panzer IV, probably will, although it's a little bit down to the wire. The Panzer IV did get itself a defensive bonus, and the IS-2 goes out of control and blows up. Conscripts should jump out of the house and throw an 18-8 at the Panzer IV, but with the AT gun there for support, it takes a shot at the Panzer IV, and down it goes. So, nice victory there for bibotot. His Tiger will back off and head back home for repairs. But Binary Helix is very near to be, he's getting very near. He only needs a little bit more manpower, about 100 more, to calling another IS-2. So Binary Helix will actually be fine in this situation. Flak Panzer also getting produced, a little bit of a questionable decision, but he is banking on not having another IS-2 coming off, right now. But as we can see, it's probably going to get called in. Artillery field officer in the center getting forced away. The conscripts in that house finally exit, and the Panzer Grenadiers are pushing out. MG42 has a nice angle in this side, but it should probably either jump in the house or move like here, because you saw right there that the Panzer Grenadiers just simply ran out of its line of sight. And there we go, another IS-2 gets called into the field. The Flak Panzer is about to finish, and it will finish, and that Flak Panzer is just going to get ripped to shreds by that IS-2, which is unfortunate for bibotot, but it could do quite a bit of damage, especially if it can catch infantry on the other side of the field. Panzer Grenadiers doing pretty much that. And are the men in the AT gun going to be able to clear it off? No. Pack gun in the center of the map for some reason. I don't know why it was on this side of the map. But it's now getting harassed by the brand new IS-2. The IS-2 is just shooting at the infantry as they pass. However, it is focusing on the man that was, lagging behind, which is kind of weird. Pack gun does set up to try to get a shot off on the IS-2, but the IS-2 just moves past its arc of fire, turns around, shoots the last man, and forces the other guy to retreat. Flak Panzer moves over to the left-hand side, does get a nice flank on the AT gun, but with the IS-2 falling on it, the Flak Panzer is in a lot of trouble. The AT gun sets up again, trying to get a shot on the Flak Panzer, but the Flak Panzer is too quick, too nimble, and the IS-2 is a little bit too slow to get there. Does manage to get in range, takes a nice shot at the Flak Panzer. Flak Panzer also gets shot by a veteran C3 AT gun, which gets more penetration, and incendiary rounds also getting effectuated on that. Oh, and it gets abandoned. However, it is very close to the enemy base, so yeah. No, shoot it again. He shoots the carcass just to get it out of the field, and it only ends up killing the main gun. And then destroying the engine. What the hell is this? I mean, this is again the 5% bug all over again. I guess it still exists. And then it misses a shot. Oh my god. That is just ridiculous. A little bit too much RNG. And there he goes. Finally manages to get a kill on the Flak Panzer. And the IS-2 is now backing off. MG42 on the left-hand side decides to retreat down to one man. Could have gotten merged with some conscripts, but the conscripts are currently being utilized on the right-hand side to try to fight off the German infantry. There is a Panzer Grenadier squad decapping the point over here on the right-hand side. But yeah, the MG42 decides to retreat. The AT gun as well. So Binary Helix will concede some territory on the left-hand side, wanting to at least have some stuff. Squad gets killed off at some point. It looks like it was the squad that was over here at the victory point. Probably got annihilated on the retreat. Yeah. And the Panzer Grenadiers, Veteran C3, retreat as well. So conscripts pushing forward, MG42 only now heading back. There's still this MG42 here and the mortar that could get picked up for Binary Helix, but he is kind of reluctant to do so. AT gun sets up in the center, bit of a weird angle. Probably no tanks are going to come that direction, but can shoot at infantry, I suppose. And the IS-2 gets over to the right-hand side and pushes away the infantry. Says, get out of here, this is my house. So victory point-wise, Binary Helix still losing 160 to 272, but he has managed to bring down bibotot quite a lot. So it's very nice. He's been doing a good job at coming back here, but let's see if it goes all the way. So the MG42 gets fully recruit. The MG42 that's on the field not getting picked up. Mortars as well not getting picked up. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of manpower, so I suppose that's why he's not doing it, but I don't know. Like right there, why get another conscript squad if you can use your current conscript squads and just get more weapons by picking them up, but I suppose it's fine. So, Binary Helix focusing a little bit over now on the north right-hand side, sending his conscripts to cap, capturing the victory point, sending his AT gun over as well to this side, so he is conceding the left-hand side currently. The artillery field officers just moves in, skirting the edges, being a little bit wary of a MG42 turned against it. And the Tiger's currently got to get 1880. It doesn't get a crit on the engine. It does not get a crit on the engine, only explodes on the frontal armor. The conscript's getting mauled by the Tiger. The Tiger takes a nice shot at the IS-2. The IS-2 gets a penetration, actually. And it bounces its shot. So both tanks just going at it against each other right now. And there we go. AT gun moves into support, so this brings the edge to the Soviet Slayer. IS-2 decides to back off with the fragmentation bomb calling in right on top of it. Fragmentation bomb doesn't actually land on anything, and a little bit of a wasted ability there. House gets collapsed by the Tiger. It backed up a little bit too close to it, and it farted, so it collapsed on itself. And conscripts over on the left-hand side get pushed away by all the German infantry, so bibotot utilizing this downtime since Binary Helix is allowing him to just capture this side of the map to, well, capture pretty much everything. Second Tiger now hitting the field against one IS-2, so this is bad for Binary Helix. He might just flat out lose the game right now. Tiger, however, in the center has gotten Veteran C2, but it is now down to about 30% health, 40 at best. So it backs off. Veteran C2 says that elite crews fire with greater accuracy and range. I don't currently have the stats. I forgot to open them up, so I won't actually check to see what those values are exactly. Sorry about that. Anyway, so Blitzkrieg getting used on the Vet2 Tiger. It's moving towards the IS-2. The AT gun is set up to shoot at the Tigers. The Tigers are now currently getting bombarded, or well, Sturmovik strafed. Sturmovik is not able to do a lot of damage to the Tigers. They are very heavy. Crew shot going off on the IS-2. The IS-2 is going to die. Does get one last shot up on that Veteran C2 Tiger. The AT gun needs to turn around and shoot that Veteran C2 Tiger to at least get rid of the Veteran C2 if he loses his IS-2. And down goes the Tiger, and the IS-2 is still alive. The Tiger over here moving around, trying to get a flank on that AT gun. The AT gun backing off. The IS-2 still on the field. Can he get a shot off on the second Tiger and finish the deal? There goes the barrage from the Sturmovik, doing a lot of damage. Well, some damage to the Tiger. The IS-2 takes a shot at the Tiger. Doesn't do a lot of damage. And the AT gun does get decrewed. There he goes. Final shot from the IS-2. And he manages to clear out both Tigers. Very nice. A little bit of a bold move there by bibotot, and it did not pay off. He ended up losing too much. Conscripts in the center pushing forward, getting more points. Nasty strafing there by the Sturmovik. Nails two Panzer Grenadiers as they were retreating, heading back home, and the Sturmovik is now out of the battlefield. We do see a nice move there by bibotot, though. He does send his Pios to cut off the points, so right now Binary Helix does not really have much of an income. He only has this point, and all these points in the field point on the north right-hand side are currently not generating him any income, but Binary Helix does the same and goes for the cutoff point, so the entire southern left-hand side is not getting bibotot any income, so a little bit of a turnaround there. It's very nice.
The enemy is encroaching on our territory.
Conscripts as well over here on the far left-hand side going for the victory point. We have Panther Grenadiers falling upon them, and it won't take them long to get there.
The enemy has cut off
We still have no Molotovs in this game, so these conscripts are not being very effective. Conscripts over here on the southern side trying to fight against Pioneers. They should be able to just run on top of them and kill them. And MG42 set up to defend the IS-2. The IS-2 uses its own ability, you know, the vehicle crew self-repair to repair itself, because we have no combat engineers in the field, so a lot of munitions being spent on that, but very, very well worth it. Conscript squad down to one man, gets executed on the retreat, and unfortunately for Binary Helix, make it out. So the conscripts on the left-hand side capture the point, but these conscripts are as well going to get cleared off by the Veteran C3 Panzer Grenadiers. They hit retreat instantly, but they're having to run straight through the Panzer Grenadiers. Down to 2 men on the retreat, down to 1 before they get themselves out of there, and will one of them make it out alive barely? And
close air support is available.
Yeah, barely makes it out alive. IS-2 roaming through the center of the map, takes a shot at the artillery field officer. Artillery field officer gets annihilated. And that was actually the officer. There's no officer left in that squad. Still retains the ability, but the officer unit is right there. Sorry, dude. Pack gun sets up in the center, trying to take some shots at the IS-2, but the IS-2 moves along and gets out of its way. Panzer Grenadiers now realizing they are in a horrible spot and are currently running away. The IS-2 looks to be heading straight into the enemy base. It is a bold move, but he could potentially do this. I mean, there's nothing right now that can stop him. The pack gun is a little bit out of position. Nice shot there by the IS-2. Nails pretty much everything, clears out the Panzer Grenadier squad, and the
Our enemy has only 200 points.
what is he gonna shoot? Decides to go for the Tier 2 building. Pack gun finally sets up behind the IS-2, takes a shot and actually penetrates the armor. Second shot does a lot of damage. IS-2 decides to back off, gonna take some more damage as it backs off. It did do a lot of damage as it went into the base. Panzer Strikes equipped on the Panzer Grenadiers, throwing off a volley, but not actually managing to get any penetrations with them. But second volley goes off, manages to destroy the gun on the IS-2. The IS-2 continues to back off. A bounce from the pack gun might allow it to stay alive, but no, second shot misses, and the Shrek goes off and nails the IS-2, and the pack nails it as it's running out of control. So Binary Helix getting a little bit too greedy, ends up paying the price, and down goes his IS-2. Veteran C2 IS-2 at that, so a little bit of a costly measure there. Very close to being able to call out another one. Only needs 20 more fuel, has 33 income, so that's a very healthy amount. Less than a minute to take him, so not bad. Victory point wise, Binary Helix now down to 131, while bibotot it's at 166, currently triple cap. Does have a Panzer Grenadier in the center, capping the point, so he will slow down to triple cap to 1 point per tick in a little while. Gets the decap, slows it down to 2, so it'll take a bit. But yeah, so brutal fighting all over the place here. Conscripts in the center, just moving around, and conscripts on the left-hand side. I am a little bit disappointed here that Binary Helix has decided not to pick up those weapons. I mean, those weapons could have helped them out, but I suppose he wanted the mobility of the conscripts. MG42 on the right-hand side, Veteran C2 manages to get a very quick suppression on the artillery field officer. We'll be able to get him pinned down afterwards if he can manage to shoot at it. AT gun finally gets recruited. This AT gun is very damaged, and it shows. It gets cleared out immediately. The conscripts are forced to retreat, losing 3 of their men and a little bit easily. We do have enough fuel for another IS-2, but not enough manpower. Manpower is about to be acquired. It's about 40 away. Sturmovik attack gets called in and goes straight for the Panzer IV, doing quite a bit of damage. Well, actually not a lot. It only did about, what, 20% damage. And there goes an IS-2, third IS-2 of the game getting called in. And this should give Binary Helix the edge. Damage-wise, we see that both players are pretty damn even. I mean, 25,000 damage from each. I mean, right now, bibotot doing a little bit more, looking out at about almost 1,000 extra. But look at that Sturmovik doing more damage than... Oh my god, that Panzer Grenadier squad got cleared out. Plane, however, does get shut down and crashes into the lake, setting the water on fire with its fuel. But, well, that is the ability of the gun up there. Doesn't say it there, but yeah, those are... Does help against infantry, but they're designed to take the air. So, conscript Ura forward, get an 18 net off on that Panzer IV, and Panzer IV now gets snared or crippled with the engine, and this brand new IS-2 on the field is going to go ahead and clear out that Panzer IV, pretty much sealing the deal. There you go, nice shot to stop. What was Veterancy 2? Veterancy 2 will leave crews getting better control over the vehicle's main gun, improving targeting. So I'm guessing those are written. So there goes the Panzer IV, and binary Helix. Now currently triple capping, and there we go. bibotot says, well, that's it, good game, and well played. So, amazing game. Thank you, Binary Helix, for sending it in. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Sorry if I talked a lot about the changes rather than the game in the early game, but, well, I ran out of stuff to talk about it. It was a long game. 45 minutes in, so very nice. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the game. If you have any positive or negative remarks, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. If you have any replays you want to send me, go ahead and send them to the email that I will put in the description. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.